Hello guys, welcome to another video on this channel. Today I will be playing this Schirru artifact deck that uses Mushy Truffle with Ailing Fusions and Elven Seers as well as Whisperers. You also have Feign Death to win round 1. Mahakam Pass as another target for the Seers and win Vandras. And of course Schirru, which is very fun to set up with this deck. You can sometimes use like offensive Mushy Truffle clicks or offensive Veil of the Ancestors clicks. Alright, so we matched against probably Alchemy, I would assume. I'm gonna mold in the Andra and the Fog. Well, we will see, I guess. Alchemy shouldn't play Vial, to be fair, so it might be a different deck. Might be something else. So this list was, this Schirru list was created by Isle of Bears. He used a bit of a different setup. I changed some cards around. I'm not sure what his exact setup was. But yeah, the idea behind the list is his. He created this list last season. And I think it's a really fun list, personally. Okay, it's Selfwound, but with Battle Trance. That's not a good matchup for me, sadly. As I don't have any tall punishes, so we will have to smork hard this game. That's why I'm gonna commit the Feign Death round 1. Usually you commit Feign Death round 1 anyway with this deck. Especially on blue coin, because you want to win the round on blue coin. On red coin you kind of have to judge like how good your hand is and how strong opponent's deck is in round 1. Like sometimes you will just pass on 7 after playing 3 bad cards. Sometimes you will commit Feign Death and try to win the round with it. But yeah, in a matchup like this, I probably have to win at the round and bleed anyway, which is not common with this deck. Usually you don't have to bleed with this deck, but yeah. It's just the matchup specific here. I'm just gonna block this Fanatic, because he's gonna use it with Svalblood anyway. So yeah, it's not something you would normally do, but yeah, in this matchup we kinda have to play like this. I think I don't buff the Whisperer. I mean, Knud will kill it, but Knud could kill it anyway, even if I buff it. He can like... I guess he can't. This doesn't have enough reach. Am I gonna buff the Whisperer? Yeah, I might actually. So I'm gonna play her in the back row. And then we're gonna buff the one that spawns. I really want her to survive, because with this Tempest it's gonna be so many points. Although it does kinda just play into Svalblood, to be fair, so I'm not sure it's worth it. Like, the leader charge is really expensive to spend, because it helps us later to set up Schirru. But I will try it anyway. I mean, it would be sad if this Whisperer just died to Knut anyway, so... We can hold the Tempest for a while, maybe he plays Svalblood early. Okay, well... Knut was in hand, so... At least playing around his stuff actually made sense. So I think I will play Tempest here. You know, just get the value before he kills the Whisperer. Like, he could, for example, Marjoram something and TA it to kill it, so... I mean, Fog in the back row is useless, I'm just gonna put it on one row. How's the Spellblood? Like, that's an issue. That's why part of the reason why this matchup is bad. I just cannot do much about this play, right? Alright, so I could hit this to guarantee Fog hitting the Abomination. So I can play for 8, 11 with the Fog. And then I need a 17-point play, which I just don't have. I mean... there sadly isn't much I can do here, guys. We have to pass. Yeah, this matchup is really bad. I would be surprised if we manage to win it. Like, I just don't have any total removals. Usually you don't need them. Like, Selfwound is just kind of the exception, unfortunately. Usually you don't need total removals because you can make your Schirru very big, right? But Selfwound is a bit of a different dynamic of a matchup. Like, we need total removals immediately, or the opponent just gets too much value with like Siegwald, Knut, etc. So yeah. And Spellblood is also a problem. I'm gonna mull the Officer. This is good to answer control there. Probably gonna mull the Harvest. Okay, Oniro is a nice draw. So I think I'm gonna squirrel the Knut because it's the best Sigrifa target. Although I guess Knut only works in the totem round, so I'm curious if my opponent will push me or not. But I think I'm gonna squirrel the Knut anyway. I'm more scared of Knut than the Spalbolot, I'm gonna be honest. We're not gonna swarm that much later on. Okay, so my opponent is pushing. Yeah, I'm banishing the Knut instantly. It's way too scary from Sigdrifa. I mean, the good thing is my opponent had to spend a lot round 1, right? Which is some good news, I guess. We're gonna verificate this. That bricks, he's doing the Andras, so that's nice. Yeah, I think next I'm gonna play the Ale. Would be a bit awkward if my opponent passed here, but kinda committed a fair bit into this round already with the Siegwald. Like, sure, he can rest the Siegwald later, but then he can rest Svalbard, for example. Right? Let's play Ale. If my opponent passes, it won't be easy to do the points, but he just takes the verification for now. Right. I'm gonna play the Mahakam past them. Take the Miner, I think. The good thing about this pass is I can maybe play Schirru this round, buff him to 7, because he's gonna go to 2 with the long shipping. Alright, my opponent just does this. Do I Oniro this Yaran? I don't think so. I think I just go for Mushi Truffle, honestly. It also gives me more reach with the Schirru later on. I just hit the bear. I mean, honestly, I'm not super scared of this, I think. Guys, my opponent knows there is no Toll Punish, so he can do this. Alright. So I could click the Mushi and then play Dwin Veandra, that plays for 8 points. Then next turn I can play Seer for 9, 15. So that's 23, 25, 30 points. We actually exactly make it. But I'm gonna go for that. Yeah, my opponent passes. Play the Seer now. And we make it by 1. Honestly, this is winnable. I mean, my opponent used his leader. I mean, he can red Zigvald, but he has no troll there, so he doesn't really have many ways to profit from the Zigvald without Knut and troll there. This feels winnable, I think. Alright, do I keep Officer over Maxi? Like, it could be used to set up Schirru in theory. But it's also just 1 point weaker. I mean, it might be useful, honestly. I'm gonna move it now. Set up the Dwim early in case I need it. Let's play this. I will probably Oniro a Seer. Just 10 points. Yeah. Unless I don't know, I have to use the Mushi earlier to play the Schirru. In that case, I'm just gonna go for Maxi or Harvest, probably Harvest. I don't think my opponent has a way to kill the Seer if I just float it other than Heatwave, which I would be fine to trade. Do I just lock this? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I could keep the lock for the Zigvald, but I'm not that scared of the Zigvald. Like, my opponent is gonna have like maybe one more Marjoram left, and that's about it. Like, Zigvald is just not scary at all, I'm gonna be honest. We could win this game, which is kind of interesting, because this matchup should be bad. But yeah, like, one thing about this deck, it's really powerful in the long run, but it also has really good short run if you with the artifact carryover and like Seers. Seers often play for 10 points even without any infusions, by the way. He's thinking about heatwaving the Mushi. That's fine. Now I just go for Harvest, I guess. Puts Schirru at 5, which is nice. Yeah. Oh, I guess now I wish I kept the first officer. Oh well. I'd go for the boost, because I don't really want to hit the priest as it's my Schirru target. Hitting the boat doesn't accomplish anything, it's just gonna stay at 4 then. There's the Zigvald. Just gonna take the Schirru and the priest. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're winning here. Yeah, last card Marjoram. It's just not enough. That's a nice win, honestly. That's a really nice win. It should be a bad matchup. So, glad to win this game. Alright, let's play another one. Alright, so for our second game we have Patricidal Fury. It's probably either Warriors or Crow Spam. Both of these matchups should be winnable, and yeah, they're more standard to play than that Selfwound game. So it will maybe showcase how to play the deck a bit better. So I'm obviously mulling the Fog. Let's see. It's a good hand. I don't really want double Whisperer. Okay, I don't want to break my Tempest with the other Fox. I'm gonna keep this. Okay, I mean, we don't know whether my opponent's playing Warriors or the Crow Spam deck, but I think against both of these decks, the correct play is to just start with Whisperer. So I'm playing TA over the Saber stratagem, because if your opponent hitwaves the Feign Death, you're actually very happy. There are better hitwave targets in this deck, like Ale of the Ancestors or Mushi Truffle, and the TA is nice to protect Whisperer in situations like this. I'm gonna try to play like this, because maybe against Warriors I could see myself winning the round without actually using Feign Death. I'm just gonna spawn Fog on both rows, I guess. I can potentially kill this drag next turn with the Officer. Alright, sure. Let's kill the drag. I could also take a tempo pass depending for how many points my opponent plays here. Like, I think I should be winning long round every time, so... yeah, like... my opponent can do these points in one card, I'm passing. He has to use full leader if he wants to do it in one card. I think he's just gonna take long run and try to win the long run somehow, but yeah. Get to even keep Feign Death, which is also nice. There is a slight risk of over-swarming, I guess, but I'm not too concerned about that against Warriors, I'm gonna be honest. This is funny that this play almost makes it, by the way. Just shows you how strong seagulls are. It's ridiculous, but yeah, it's thankfully not enough. Alright. I mean, we will see. My opponent could decide to bleed 2 cards down, although I would be surprised. So yeah, like, this Whisperer TA play with the Tempest is something you will often do against decks that you don't really expect to have an answer for a play like that. Like Warriors, I mean, what can they do? They can go full leader champions charge. You're completely fine if they do that. You just go Feign Death and avoid losing uneven with Feign Death. Okay, I'm gonna move the Saboteur. I mean, this hand is really good. We have everything we need. No need to mulligan here. I don't want to break my Sage. I'm just gonna open with Ale. My opponent dry passes, we will just play all the artifacts. Or at least I will play Mushi and Ale, and I might Oniro a Maxi or a Squirrel. Probably a Squirrel, honestly, on this Invader. But let's see if my opponent actually decides to pass. No, he's pushing 2 cards down. Which, honestly, I think is the correct play, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this matchup is, in a long round 3 for SK, is really not that good. I'm just gonna Oniro the Ciaran to lock the Stir, obviously. I don't really want to like play an early Schirru just to answer the Tyr. And we do have to answer this card. So yeah. That's why Ciaran is nice in this deck. Sometimes you just need to lock a threat that you don't want to Schirru. Alright, I think it's time to drop Plain Death. My opponent passes, we get card advantage with Mushi, but okay, of course he's not passing. He's blocking the commando with this leader, I guess, is the idea here. Sure. I mean, I pretty much always go Mushi next. And I would probably just ail the Siren to remove some blood first. Never mind, now we buff Ciaran, since he damaged it. I'm just going Mushi Truffle here. I mean, I'm just gonna buff this with the officer then. To deny blood first this way. If my opponent passes, I just play the other officer. We still go into run through with card advantage and the artifact carryover as well. If he doesn't pass, I probably play Whisperer. Whisperer gets procced instantly with the Feign Death, which is really nice. Plays for 8 points. Guaranteed. I could use Mushi Truffle as well, if it gets me ahead, maybe. Just to proc the Whisperer one more time. Before she dies. Yeah, we go Whisperer. And yeah, I think I am clicking the Mushi here. Do I want to protect the Whisperer? I don't think so. Like, I might overswarm. He might overswarm me with his leader. It could be problematic. If I protect it. Wow, that is very inefficient. Sure, I don't mind that at all. I mean, now I will just play the Wing Vahandra then. Yeah. This deck just really combines like long run power with abusive carryover artifacts. It is a very abusive deck, I will say. But yeah. It's a very strong combination. Like, you can't really go long run because Schirru in a long run is just super scary. You can set up a disgusting Schirru pretty easily. But you also can't really... But if you bleed, then like I have this for a shorter round, very, very strong. So yeah. I mean, Squirrel, sure I could banish this, but it's just like 6 points, who cares? I probably will... I mean, Vial is like a decent opener though, but I kinda wanna open with a unit just to buff my... just to use my ale. And I'm gonna move the Vial because I don't want to brick my Sage, but I would rather just draw a Seer or something. Yeah, well, good thing I did. His rates are at 5. Yeah, I think I just play this to make it more awkward. Just get a unit with a lot of armor. So Champion's Charge is gone, so I can stack all infusions on this dwarf if it doesn't die. Which is really nice. I can be very, very greedy here. Okay, Harald. Guess I'm just going for the Vial now. Look at all these artifacts. There was an argument to click the Pyrotech there, to be honest, but I would rather just keep it for the armor, I think. Like, there was an argument because if we hit Harald, then we can kill it. And if I don't, then I can... If I hit this, I could technically Schirru. But I think I will get a better Schirru, to be honest. I mean, now I take the officer on this to set it up for Schirru on 8s. I might use the Vial, guys, because I don't think I will need it for the Schirru setup. I mean, I guess I can wait a turn, but it like plays around the savageries and stuff. Maybe let's wait a turn. I mean, now I could go for 7s. So that's the upside of waiting. Yeah, I think I'm going for it. Yeah. I mean, it's just too good not to take, right? Yeah, I think so. We buff Schirru. We leader the invaders. Let's do this. I'm not clicking it, I'm just keeping it for the armor value. I see a point in clicking the Pyrotech. Right? I mean, Jenga locks the infusion. I guess I will just start infusing the Schirru then. And then we play the Harvest. Okay, my opponent gives up, yeah. We just have too many points, like, in a short round like this with the artifact carryover. And yeah, the Schirru was still amazing there, so... Take another win, and yeah, let's jump into the final game, I guess. Alright, so for the final game we are against Blood Money. Could be Necker, could also be the setup with Brute and Witchfinder. We will see, I guess. Alright, obviously mulling the Fog. So in this matchup I will be happy to go into a longer round 3 as long as I have last say, I think. So we'll try to win round 1, but not to push, but to just secure last say. Which you can achieve with Feign Death quite often. I mean, Vial is useless, so I will mulligan it. So is Squirrel, to be fair, I guess. Alright, no Roach coming out. I mean, could be still the Necker version without Roach, so too early to say anything. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play Feign Death. I can't really answer this drill, so... We just play Feign Death, try to win the round with that. This matchup will be interesting. I'm not sure which side is favorite. It's kind of hard to say, actually, I think. Alright, let's play Officer. Then I will probably play Whisperer next. I might buff her with my leader, I think. Because it's 7... Okay, now we know which version it is. Oh. I mean, with my opponent spending so hard, like going so hard into round 1, how much do I want to actually commit, right? Like, Witchfinder is a huge threat that is out. I might just not want to commit too much. I think I will still play a Whisperer, but I'm wondering whether I should leader her. I think I might still, because how does he answer the Whisperer? He would need like another Hysteria, basically. Or he would need to use his leader.
Rośnijcie, moje piękne, wysoko pod niebo.
If she doesn't answer her, it blocks the Witchfinder. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be great to trade it with another Hysteria, but then he would have to waste this bounty. Like, he would have to play Drill on it, then hit it with Hysteria, then hit it again. He might just leader it, which is, I mean, it's a good trade. It's a good trade for me. So, I don't mind. I mean, I'm not gonna do anything in this round. I don't see a point in playing into this anymore. Just play more into his bounty value, let him reactivate the leader. So I'm passing. I would have preferred to try to win the round and get last say, but we can't really. I think my opponent will bleed me though after what he spent round 1. And yeah, as you saw in the Warriors game, if you can't win round 1, you just try to defend the bleed and then keep the artifact carryover for round 3. I'm gonna mulligan the Squirrel because it's useless. And this is a very good hand, we're drawing really well. Deck usually doesn't have Heatwave, but what if my opponent plays it? I mean, honestly, this is still better if the Ale gets Heatwave than the Mushi. Like, Mushi is usually worth more points than the Ale. Because if Ale gets Heatwave, then the Mushi... sorry, if Mushi gets Heatwave, then the Ale doesn't do that much anymore. Like, sure, it just infuses a unit every 10, which is still really good, but without, like, the froths from Mushi, it's not that amazing. Okay. Considering to lock this Kandra because it's annoying. Force him to play another spender. It does play into like a bounty though, and he could just have like executioner that I can't really kill. So I'm not sure how much I like that. Like, I might prefer to lock the Caleb, to be honest, because he should have more bounty spenders. He only played Driller round 1. And I don't want to just leader the Caleb, like it's gonna make setting up Schirru harder. So honestly, I'm just gonna ignore it for now. Another idea was to play the Mahakam pass, I guess, just to play a unit with a lot of armor. But I want to get this Mushi on the board earlier, so I can use it for reach. Like, sure, that's fine. I think now I play the pass. Yeah, I will just take the Skirm. If he wants to bounty it, sure. Skirm is actually really good here. It's very annoying for him to continue bleeding into this. I could take a pass, but then I think I made decent trades. Like, we basically set up carryover and got out the Scoundrel then. I don't think he will pass though. Like, I think he wants to keep bleeding. The thing is, like, last say is useful, but I still just get too much value from Schirru in a long run for him to take the long run realistically, I think so. It plays Octavia. Sure. I think I'm gonna Oniro into Tempest here because it's annoying. My opponent. He also kind of played into it. I think I'm actually gonna hold this. Maybe I can answer like an Executioner or a Caleb when it comes down. He doesn't really want to hit through 5 iron armor. Yeah, will he leader now or no? Yeah. Mm -hmm. So I think I could hit the Scoundrel. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. Play the Vial, use it. On this. Hit the Scoundrel. This way we get ahead by 1. And it's still awkward. Like, this is not good bounty value for him to take. If he passes now, he loses card advantage. Yeah, like, that's a very weak Graydon. I really don't mind him taking this Graydon. I mean, now we just play this. We buff it with the Ale, get ahead again. Like, the thing is, the longer opponents play into this round, the easier it is to defend. But then also, if they don't play into this round, then they give me a longer round 3 with better Schirru and better Ale. So like, this deck is kind of like a two-edged sword, right? Like, no matter what the opponent does, they kind of play into your strategy either way. Which is really annoying for them. I think I'm clicking Mushi here and I'm just playing my Doing Andra. Like, if my opponent passes here, I go with card advantage into round 3 and all this carryover from the artifacts, right? Like what do you even do against this, right? Like, that is why this deck, in my opinion, is one of the more disgusting decks in this meta. It's very hard to deal with for a lot of decks if they don't, especially if they don't play Heatwave to like Heatwave one of these artifacts. It's really annoying for them to deal with it. So like, Freak Show is gone. How does he answer the Whisperer if I just play it and buff it with the Ale? Like, Dread is gone, Freak Show is gone. He could have a second Hysteria, but then he loses bounty value. I think I'm just gonna do it. I could guarantee it with a second leader. I guarantee that this goes through, but I just don't think I care that much. Honestly. I would rather keep the leaders for Schirru. If he has to play like a Hysteria plus leader, I'm happy with that. If he has to play a non-tribute Morels plus leader, I'm also happy with that. Like, yeah, I just don't think I mind that. He loses so much value on not taking this bounty that, yeah. I don't think I care that much. Now we lock the Caleb. I mean, he could have a Morels, so I won't buff this for now. He can't kill it anyway with an Executioner. We'll see if he gets enough coins for Morels. I might buff this Maxi later. I mean, now I'm just taking this Schirru, I think, yeah. And on Nero I do him later to activate the Seer. Yeah. I think I'm just taking the Schirru because it denies this bounty value. Can't really profit from it now. I'm not losing to a Heatwave, so I can greet this infusion. I mean, I guess I could have also held the ale, since we can't click it again anyway, but not like it matters. And yeah, pretty comfortable win here.
Starszyzna musi powstrzymać rebelię, inaczej wszystko będzie stracone.
Like, look at this short round power, right? It's just completely ridiculous. We win by 32 points. So yeah, this deck is very, very strong, I would say. One of the stronger decks in the meta, very abusive. It is not easy to play, but once you get the hang of it, it's really, really strong. And yeah, I mean, as you can see by my MMR, we reached 2616, which is a very nice score. And yeah, I will end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.